Chat, I was working on a presentation, almost lost track of time. Glad I even looked what time it was. What's up, everybody? Let's get this party started. Market's just a little confusing for me right now. Let's make sure we got all this stuff working, all this stuff going. Just looking around. We'll take a look at anything anybody wants me to look at. We'll of course focus on BTC, ETH, digital assets, that sort of thing. Let me fix this here. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening to the recording, for those of you recording enjoyers as well. Audio to me sounds pretty good. Joey's here, Karen's here. Thanks for the sub. Steven and Tony is here. Everybody, all the cool kids are here. F Society's here. What's up? Really interested on gold. Yeah, Mikael, is that how you say it? I always botch that one. Gold actually looks really good here. Gold looks good here. We'll take a look though. South Korean ETFs. Were you the one asking me about South Korean defense companies? somebody, yeah, okay. Somebody was asking me about that. Very niche, for sure. I haven't obviously looked at any of that stuff, but always open to looking at anything. Yeah, man. So the ETFs, end of year, we had a lot of selling. End of year, we kind of momentum dropped off. I'm kind of wondering even now until, if we look at a price chart, if we look at when the ETFs launched in mid-January. We lifted off in price in February. So there's a possibility that we have just a ton of selling here relative to people taking long-term capital gains. Based on what we're seeing with the ETFs, it's possible. As long as the net continues to be positive, we'll be okay. But it's definitely one thing to start to think about as those long-term capital gains for people kick in. There's also going to be rebalancing with people throughout the quarter. You know, there's kind of a lot of moving parts here. There's tons of people who haven't allocated and will start to take this more seriously because ETFs have been live for a year. There's people who are up a lot and they're happy with their position and they'll start trimming, stuff like that. But so far, we haven't really seen a ton of outflows. And yesterday we saw a big 755 million inflow. BlackRock's number from yesterday isn't going to be until today, but definitely something that I'm obviously watching every day just to see what the institutional sentiment picture looks like. We don't really want or need like crazy inflows every day. We don't need 1 billion a day. We just need a steady state of positive net flows, 500 million, 250. Doesn't have to be anything impressive as long as it continues to absorb the limited supply. That's all we need. ETH is a bit of a different story. ETH still, ETH is negative on the day here. It just doesn't look good for ETH in the moment. I think there will be a trade. We'll talk about what I like on ETH here, but ETH flows, they ain't it. As far as the ETFs go, maybe we see in-kind this year. Maybe we see staking this year. If we see in-kind for BTC this year, which just means you can send BTC directly versus USD. If we see that, we may see GBTC just like get dissolved because you're going to have people attempting some sort of in-kind untaxable event. I think this is possible where you can just basically transfer assets from GBTC to anything that's cheaper. And then there's going to be fee compression. And so I think that would be pretty wild to see what the effects of in-kind would be. I'm not so convinced that staking is going to be like this savior for the ETH ETFs. I think the story for ETH is just hard for people to understand outside of crypto. And until that gets better, it's just harder to sell. And that's it. And as far as retail, like I was thinking about this earlier, who's using ETH? People are using the L2s and they're using Solana and they're using other chains. But who's actually using ETH here is the question. I don't know. I don't have a great answer. There's a lot of stuff happening, obviously, that relies on ETH, but using ETH directly, I try to avoid it at all costs. I use the layer 2s. They're just better, cheaper, faster. Bit420 says he's using ETH. So it's just tough. There's so much competition. You've got all these layer 2s. Kraken has a layer 2. Coinbase is a layer 2. It's going to be tough unless something changes for ETH to get this engine going. Now, things change with ETH above 4,000, but we're not super close to that just yet. ETH for NFTs. I guess for the moment, ETH kind of has that market. It's going to be interesting to see like if that changes, but I guess that's a use case, sure. What's up, UBO? All right, so for Bitcoin, I don't have, like I said in the open, I don't have any great ideas here at the moment from technicals. We had a really clean breakout in November. We had a catalyst. We had a massive consolidation period. We had tons of selling from Germany, from the US government, Gox coins. We had all this stuff going on, miners. Technicals eventually got there. Technicals kept you, in my opinion, on the right side of that trade. And more importantly, before the election, this was October 15th. October 15th, we were already making new local highs. October 28th, we made another new local high. Into the election, there was some risk off. And then obviously the election happened and we made a new all-time high. But we're not seeing that here. We're not seeing higher highs yet. We've only seen lower highs. As much as people are going to hate to hear this, to me, this head and shoulders fractal is still there. It's not dead yet. This whole range is a mess, don't get me wrong, but the head and shoulders idea is still alive. It's not well, but it's alive. What we really need to see is a daily close above 100, a higher high that we actually hold, and just the rejection of this range, which we haven't had. We really haven't been able to pull out of this yet. Now it looks better and has looked better and better and better. But as far as like tradable ideas, I don't have a great idea here, personally. So it's just tough. It's just tough. Like DCA is probably fine. In a perfect world, we don't have people like Sailor buying and holding this up. I know that sounds insane, but my personal view is that people would feel much better buying if this does pull back. And I know buy now or cry later. I get it. Okay, you don't need to remind me. This has nothing to do with my own personal cash position. This is all about, I believe people think it's expensive up here. We also need to normalize 6 figures. We need to normalize 100,000. It's a psychological level. Somebody's clearly selling every time we come up above 100,000. The cloud also, as I've talked about a lot, you've got, here's how the cloud works, okay? Price above cloud is bullish. Bullish TK cross is bullish. We have bullish cloud, price above cloud, bearish TK cross. So from a cloud perspective, strictly, just stripping away what this is, the timing, the inauguration, whatever else, it would tell you to stay out until we have a bullish TK cross. That's the system. You can love it, hate it, be indifferent. That's the system. So in a perfect world for the cloud, we would want a bullish TK recross. Not there yet. That's probably going to take like 15 to 30 to 45 days, depending on how long we chop. And really what it's doing here is keeping you out of the chop and reminding you that there's a possibility that this does break down. So Am I saying anything really? I'm just saying up or down, kind of. But there's the decision tree. If we can hold 100, if we can break out of the range, I like it. If not, I don't see a reason to do much of anything. That's all. Somebody was getting very upset with me this week in the comments on the videos. they said I said something about nothing I've said has been actionable. This isn't financial advice anyway. I'm just telling you what I'm thinking and doing. I'm not trying to convince you of a trade one way or the other. I don't have great ideas here. You know, we can draw this. I saw some people like drawing, I don't know, like maybe this is a triangle, maybe this is, I don't know. I don't know. You know, the whole thing is like, if it's not a yes, if it's not a screaming yes, it's a no. Like, if I'm hemming and hawing here, at least for me, I don't see a great near-term setup here. I just don't. I mean, maybe we get this. The other thing people were asking me was I buying below 90? I wasn't buying below 90 because we were in the cloud at that time, and I wasn't going to buy when we're in the cloud. That's just not what I do. But until we're out of this range, it's just tough. It's very tough. That's BTC. Yeah, Ripple clearly running on a few things. ETF possibility, Trump talking about basically a strategic altcoin reserve, which is weird. That's certainly helping. You've got Litecoin with some news that I can't talk about directly, but it also had some news. It's up today. What else we got? One thing I did notice is alts kind of all over the place. Like I said with ETH, even ETH was down. It's still down on the day. That's why this is all I really care about in 2025 for ETH. Can we get it back to 4K and above? I don't think there's anything else to do. I think if you're bullish ETH, I think you're just DCAing here. But I don't think there's anything else to do. I don't think there's some crazy trade setup. It's just 4K. That's it. If we're above 4K, you're going to get flows. You're going to get all sorts of stuff. But below that, I have nothing. It's just literally flat, ranging, chop. I got nothing. Where am I a buyer on BTC? So I like, again, price above 100K, a hold of 100K, a higher high, which isn't going to be too difficult. You know, ideally we close today like below 100, and then going into the weekend, we do whatever we do. Maybe we close above 100, maybe we don't. It really depends on your confidence of holding this. The other question is, okay, let's say you're DCAing anything below 100 regardless. Where do you step out of that if you do at all, or do you just eat it? You know, like this is the downside risk. The downside risk is 80s. Can we realistically sell off post inauguration? I don't know. Like nothing says we can't. It would be weird. I'll give you that. The other reason I like 80-ish is because of the yearly pivot there, and the 200-week moving average is right there at 80. So that's where I like to buy. I like to buy down here if we get it. Or obviously you're going to have to buy slightly higher. Or you're DCAing some percentage in the range. It's just, I don't have any great... Back here, when we're talking about this breakout, this diagonal line, everything was pretty specific, right? It was like, if we get above here, this is go time. After the election, this is go time. We're already above the cloud. We already have bullish TK cross, blah, 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 blah. Here, it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to have great ideas every day of the year, you know? Sailor is definitely still buying. He is in a blackout period, but for the buys, for the BTC buys, I don't think he's in a blackout period. So he may have sold via ATM a bunch before the blackout period, has been holding on to some cash, and that might be what he's buying with, but he's definitely buying still. So on BTC, those are my ideas. DCA in the middle, 80 through the cloud, or buy when you're convinced of a breakout. But this head and shoulders is still there. The good news is if we do finally get this behind us, 120 plus is what you'd expect based on the depth of this pattern breaking up. And it's the same if you measure this down. If you measure this down, you get 80 to 84. Basically the edge to edge, right? It's right there on the cloud. And if this is a fake head and shoulders, then 120, 125. So price discovery. All right, so that's BTC. ETH, again, I have nothing, literally nothing. I said this on Thursday, Wednesday on the video. I care about nothing other than this. No fundamentals matter. Sorry, they just don't. Everything will get better with price ETH above 4K. That's it. So if you're confident that this year's ETH's year, or this half of the year is ETH's half of the year, I think you have to be bullish on this. It's definitely real. Other than that, I got nothing on ETH. Ripple did have some IHS type stuff. People were asking me about HBAR too. HBAR is not on Kraken for US users, I don't believe, at least not yet. That's why I don't ever talk about it, but we can talk about it in a second. For Ripple, it was holding up better than everything, and it had this like scoop-de-whoop thing. So sure, it's at an all-time high now. Anytime you can identify horizontal levels with a clear breakout, I'm there. That's why I liked HBAR 2 yesterday. Same idea. Sol also doing well today based on that strategic altcoin reserve headline. Cloud is mixed here. Again, I don't have like great ideas, great setups. Not until this clears itself. Maybe this is a double bottom. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, do you really want to trade this 220 to 250? I guess that's a trade. That's a low confidence trade for me. LTC is closer to an ETF. I can't talk about it directly because I'm involved. I work for the company involved in that process. So I can't answer any ETF questions. I could just tell you what's already been out there on the news. I think we're going to see a lot of TradFi legacy type crypto products. For LTC, it's above the weekly cloud. The target could be like 250 plus if this actually keeps going. Back to Ripple for a second. Like, where could Ripple go? Ripple's kind of there with a similar idea to LTC. You know, it's basically, it's kind of like the stellar chart too. You've got this, you've got historic levels of all-time high resistance. Like absolute moon boy stuff would be 20. The thing is the market cap, right? Like we can measure stuff on technicals and we can say, okay, this is the depth of the range. Maybe this goes to 50, but realistically with the market cap, I think that's going to be tough. In the near term, whatever the depth of this is would be like almost 4. Call it 4. It's like midpoint. On Ripple. And then everything else, you know, outside of HBAR, like some of this stuff is up today. Cardano's up today. Doge, Memecoins doing okay. I'm just a little bit more convinced when we can get the cloud on our side. Doge is starting to look better. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Am I just too... Makes no sense looking at it on log? Why not? How else do you look at it? Linear? I would never look at anything on linear. You're telling me this makes more sense to you? Hold on. This makes more sense to you. This makes no sense to me. This makes it look worse in my mind. Like, what is going on here? This looks like MSTR on linear. I don't know. You can't see anything on linear. That's why I look at log on everything. My spot account is fine. My leveraged trading account got ripped up. Yeah, I can see that with a lot of people. You want to really save leverage for your highest confidence bets. So doing leverage in this range is rough. It is rough. Thanks, Angel, for the sub. Yeah, log smooths it out. So across the board, it's like, is there any good ideas here that I have? I think my best idea is stuff like Link ETH. Link ETH, Uni ETH. Like, this chart looks really good to me. I don't know about you guys, but this chart looks really good. So if you're bullish ETH, maybe you dabble a little bit outside of that in the ETH universe. But this chart, to me, is one of the strongest charts right now. I don't know about Link BTC. Link BTC is a little less clear to me, but I just really like this. Can I go back? Really like the horizontal. Now I froze it. What did I do? Link ETH. I just like the horizontal, that's all. Yeah, with fees, it's just tough. It's just tough. That's why I like the breakout trades. Like, again, Ripple H bar. If I bring up an H bar chart, I guess I have to do. Like, you know, it's too late now, but it had this whole triangle thing that it's trying to do something. It's trying to do something. Someone was asking about BNB. BNB is another one. It's just like, it's kind of like Sol. Like, what do you do here? I don't know. There's a bit of a like rising support channel. I don't know. I don't know. How would you trade Link ETH? Well, you can trade it on Kraken. There's a pair for it. Trade it straight up. Link USD looks fine. It kind of looks like ADA. I don't know. All this stuff, we're still very much in the range. The previous range from last quarter is pretty big. So it's tough for me to be convinced that the right idea here is a trade versus just waiting for this range to resolve itself. You know, it's like NVIDIA. Like, what do you do with NVIDIA here? I have no idea. There's nothing. It's ranging. It's all over the place. It's nonsensical. It's bearish, then it's bullish, then it broke out, then it gave it all back, and it's just like I don't see anything here on NVIDIA. I really don't. This was the idea. And maybe all this stuff is just confused because the legacy indices don't look great. This is S&P. This looks bearish. This doesn't exactly scream go long here to me. Not yet. So I think when this clears up, crypto will look better. This will clear up when the dollar strength is clearly not strength and is weakness. This will clear up when the 10-year yield continues to weaken, which it's weakened quite a bit. This stuff will all look better when global liquidity spills lower, or sorry, higher. I don't hate the idea of taking bets on things going your way. It's just hard to be hyper convinced with size and leverage that everything's going to work out. That's all. So it's tough. It's very tough. Sound is chopping out. I hope not. Should be good. Am I just not? Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm just probably whispering. So yeah, we're just in this weird period where we have a lot of uncertainty coming up with what Trump's actually going to do and what those policies are actually going to be. Dollar's still quite strong. 10-year yield's still pretty strong. Dollar liquidity is still a headwind. BTC kind of nervous about 100K. I do like MSTR here as an idea on the 4 hour. MSTR is, at least to me, looks like it's trying to set up for an inverted head and shoulders here. Can I hide this? Hide. Boom. It's a mess, but I like it as an idea. And with the cloud, like this looks like a setup to me. So much like October, if MSTR breaks out, MSTR was already moving by the time the election happened. If MSTR starts breaking out, I can be a little bit more convinced about BTC. That would be an early sign for me to watch for sure. Believe in something, says Jabroni. Thanks, Kara. Appreciate it. Yeah, so people asking about some alts here. Let's take a look. Let's try to be exciting and upbeat. I just, I don't I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have like amazing ideas here. Is that right? Where's the full Caspa chart? I gotta pull it up here. No, that's not right either. Boom. Come on, man. Where's the Caspa chart? Is it on like this? Daily cloud. Boom. Okay. I thought Caspa, is this the right ticker? Am I going crazy? I thought Caspa was the one that was up like 1,000,000,000%. Yeah, okay, there we go. Here's the thing about this stuff, and it's the same with Memecoins. It's like, this stuff is already up 300, 400, 1,000%. So there's that. It's been in a range for a long time. I like anything above 16, 17, 18 cents. But you can see that there's like this rounding here. So you got to break that first, at least for me. But I would never touch this because it's up 10,000 trillion%. It's not for me. It's not for me. Yeah, David Lynch died. I just saw that. Stellar, sure. Stellar, you could probably trade if you think Stellar will follow Ripple. Maybe you trade that. I don't know. It just, this whole market feels very odd to me. There's like 5 charts that are moving on news. Everything else is kind of just like doing whatever. Some stuff is down today. I don't know. Like, it looks fine, but similar to LTC, you got this huge triangle, all-time high, whatever you want to call it, at around 70 cents that you got to be mindful of. Yeah, I would say the risk reward on ETH is tough because virtually everything else looks better than ETH. As a trade, I don't like it until it's above 4,000, really. So I guess the question is, what do you do between ETH here and ETH 4,000? Probably trade something else, and then rotate back into ETH at 4,000. I don't know. That's an idea, I guess. Everyone's talking about Ripple, crazy projections. Yeah, we see this every time with Ripple. Every time. Like it's happened like what, 4 or 5 times maybe since inception for Ripple. It'll break out and then it'll just give it all back. Give it all back. Maybe this time is different. But seeing everybody in retail land talk about it and pile in, that's always a worrisome sign for sure. Cardano. The old Cardano. So weekly cloud looks good. Looks fine. Maybe that's flagging. Looks okay. Daily looks okay. A lot of these charts also look very similar. This chart looks like what looks like Link to me. Not that that's a bad thing, but you kind of have to choose your battles. If you're convinced Cardano is in the US made homegrown conversation and it's going to get into the strategic reserve or it's going to get an ETF or whatever, right? Then you're super bullish Cardano. Unlike news catalyst type stuff. Somebody was asking about AVAX. I don't feel strongly about it personally here. I don't know. Everything's just kind of just, I wish I could come here every week and be like, oh my God, look at this amazing setup, guys. It looks so good. I don't see it. I just don't see it here. I just don't see it. Stuff like Zcash, Monero, just polar opposites as far as utility there, but I wouldn't waste my mind space thinking about Zcash. I wouldn't trade it. It's just like a no trade ever for me for the most part. What is there to do here? Zcash should have became an ERC20 or in a layer 2 or something years ago. I got nothing. Until it's above like 85, I wouldn't touch this just on principle anyway, but there's that. Nobody can own Monero because it's not traded anywhere. That's the tough part. Chart looks okay. It's just you have to have muted expectations. It's not like when people see this moving or will see this moving that they can actually buy this thing because nobody can list this. That's the problem. So if this randomly gets a bunch of listings, then sure. But you can really only buy it on Kraken. You can't really buy it in Asia. I don't think you can buy it in Europe. Well, who can buy this thing? Chart looks okay, but like, who's going to follow you after buying it? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we'll get to legacy here in a second, just because crypto's not that exciting. TIA, I like breakouts. I like trends. I'm not really a fan of buying the low and hoping for the best. That's just me. That can work out most of the time. A lot of the times that can work out. TIA would be an example of you might be right eventually, but there is not a trend here yet on TIA. At least for me. Do I think spot bags around 4 or 5 is safe? I don't know. I have no idea. It's like TIA reminds me of the ETH people that are like, just get rich and stake, bro. We'll have staking on the ETFs and you could just get rich and stake, bro. Just get rich and stake TIA and collect the airdrops, bro. Like there needs to be people need to be doing something with it. I know that's rich coming from me, a Bitcoin maxi, but Bitcoin's a bit different. The utility is hodling. That's the utility. KuCoin users can buy Monero. I mean, I guess. Musk buying what? Is that a new headline? Just reading chat here. Beep-a-deep-a-doo. Sui, yeah, I mean, Sui's, it looks fine. You know, here I am like poo-pooing stuff that's up 8% on the day. Yeah, it just keeps on trucking. It reminds me of Netflix. There's no real like great places to enter, but it just is in this channel sort of. I don't know. Um, it looks fine. It looks stronger than everything else, that's for sure. Outside of like Ripple and HBAR, LTC, not LTC, but Ripple, HBAR, you know, stuff that's just kind of held those highs and broken out again, whereas this is just continuing. It looks fine. Sol may go the way of ETH. Dispersion, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Anything else? I mean, memes. The thing is, like, does anything break up without BTC getting bullish? It's possible. Clearly, Ripple has. Clearly, Sol has a little bit. And then there's stuff like this, where it's like, we're not quite out of the woods here on Pepe. It's not bullish. It's definitely neutral. What do you do here? I don't know. Like nothing? Like there's nothing here for me. There's nothing here for me. I don't know. I don't got anything. I don't got anything. Algo. Yeah, it's breaking up. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It looks better than a lot of stuff. I'll give you that. It's got the bullish TK recross there probably today or tomorrow. Looks okay. Looks okay. Will ERC20? I have no idea. Pepe falling wedge. I mean, I don't know. I don't have confidence here until we get direction on BTC. That's just me. I've even got this here. I guess falling wedge, like maybe. We had this debate with Solana before it broke down. Like everybody was telling me, "Oh, it's a falling wedge. It's a falling." Meanwhile, Solana just kept breaking down, kept breaking down. I don't know. That's all I got on crypto. I think I don't think there's much else out there, honestly. Like, I just don't see much of anything. And we're not quite bullish mostly everywhere yet. And BTC is just kind of hovering around 100. So I don't know. It's a weird time. Weird time. Coin, same thing. I don't really see anything here. Right? It's just like, what is there to do? I don't know. Nothing. PayPal, nothing really to do there. Square, nothing really to do there. What else we got? The miners just look, to me, the miners do look untradeable to me. Just period. I mean, this is the ETF WGMI, massive range. I have no idea on anything there. Cores is neutral. Wolf is below the daily cloud. It's just huge untradeable chop. I don't know. Like you have to have some idea, some long-term thesis, like HPC AI data center or something. I don't know. These are not charts that I would trade willingly. Clean Spark there looks horrible. IREN up chop for the most part, but still fairly untradeable. I don't really see any amazing things here. Maybe an eventual cup and handle, but nothing here. Marathon, just a never trade. Look at this thing. It's been flat since basically 2021, 2017. I mean, it's gone nowhere. It's gone nowhere. Can it go plus 50% tomorrow? It could, but I doubt it. It looks horrible. Looks horrible. Riot looks better than Mara to me, but I don't know, not by much. Yeah, no, I still like Square. I just saying I don't think there's anything to do. Same thing with PayPal. You know, you could say you're getting some like daily bearish TK cross type stuff, but if you traded this based on a weekly idea, then what are you doing even caring about the daily? I mean, this took 2-3 years to break out. I could care less. I'm holding some of this somewhere, I think. I could care less. I'm going to give this at least 6 months to do whatever it needs to do, but I'm not worried about it here. Whatever. Same thing with PayPal. Like PayPal just broke out of the weekly. Okay, like I'm in no rush to do anything. That reminds me of gold. Where is it at? Where is it at? Really? Here it is. Gold on the daily. So this is really good for BTC because gold on the daily looks excellent. Gold had a crazy bullish like 2024 up 27%. If BTC looked like this, which could happen, I would be turbo bullish BTC. You have a bullish TK recross, price above cloud, you're making a new range high. You never broke down below the cloud. This looks phenomenal for gold. Phenomenal. So I love this as a trade, as a setup, as an idea, as a bullish continuation. I think it looks really good. So gold usually leads BTC as far as direction. So it's good news that gold is moving up like that. Yeah, Alex, I talked about LTC a little bit in the beginning. 250 plus this cycle is possible. I don't know if there's any like setups or trades here, but it's in a massive triangle, like a multi-year triangle. Tezos, who's asking about Tezos? We can pull it up, but man, at some point you just got to cut the bags, you know? You just got to cut the bags at some point. Dominance doesn't look bearish to me. On the weekly, what do we used to do? Look at like the 200 day. No, what was it? Maybe it was the 200 week. Let me take this off. So above the 200 week, it's Bitcoin season. Maybe it was the 100 week. I forget the. Hold on, chat. Hold on. I think it was the 100. There we go. That looks a little better. So above the 100 week, it's Bitcoin season. Below the 100 week, it's altcoin season. You know, if you don't like the cloud. We're still above the 100 week. It's going to take a while. Like it again, if it's not a yes, it's a no. If it's not obvious, probably not alt season. Probably not. That doesn't mean you can't start rotating early or whatever, but man, it's just it's still pretty strong on the BTC side of the equation for sure. For Tezos, trying to be bullish again. What does this look like on the weekly? You got some sort of, yeah. You got some sort of like megaphone monstrosity down there. I hate megaphones. Absolutely hate them. There's one on BTC in low time frames right now. The problem is if you start buying this on the lows, maybe it goes past that anyway. If you start playing this as a breakout on the diagonal up here, maybe it just stops. It's just megaphones, whatever. All this stuff is just horrible to trade. If this can get through the weekly cloud, then I think you're good. But I don't see anything immediate in the moment. ARK is another one. As far as risk appetite goes, and ARK doesn't look too bad. On the weekly, looks pretty good. On the daily, maybe that's a kind of falling wedgie channel thing. I don't know. I wouldn't trade ARK directly, but as a sentiment gauge, it's looked worse. So I think we're good on that front. We talked about Square, TLT. I think a lot of guys are bullish on TLT because they think the Trump admin is going to step in with something for some reason and push down the 10-year. I don't see anything immediately here that I like. I would like this better above the weekly. Like at 95. Should probably let me set an alert for like 95.7 or something. I think it starts to get better there, but you're still kind of in this range chop. So I'm not a big fan of that personally. Hood. Yeah. If you go back to like my 2023 videos, I was talking about Hood to 40. We got there. Now it's closer to 50. It looks good, but it's like Caspa, it's like, where were you at 10, at 15 when this started breaking out? It looks fine. It's just, like, to me, most of this move has happened. It's still trending. It's still bullish. It held the Kijun twice on the daily. It still looks fine. I don't know. Like, it doesn't look amazing here to me as an entry because most of the move already happened. Reddit, that's one I don't look at enough. Honestly, I don't ever look at this chart. Reddit on the daily, it's either some kind of flag. It kind of looks like a flag, doesn't it? Just a huge range. Like you can play it as a breakout. Play it as a breakout. But again, it's like, where were you at 60? Where were you at 100? Where were you at the gap when it gapped up? Not saying you personally, the person asking me, but it's just tough because it's already plus almost 200% from 60. BYND, Beyond Meat. Oh God. I don't think I could touch this out of principle. This thing. I'd be careful on that one. If you want to like be a bottom scraper, maybe, but this is not a pretty chart at all. At all. Would I buy gold here? Yeah, absolutely. Like, what's wrong with it? I don't hate it. It looks more bullish than the S&P. It looks more bullish than the Qs. It looks more bullish than most of big tech. You're getting a third attempt at a higher high, local high. I think it looks great. All the lows got rejected. It's just tough because you're battling gold bag holders who are like, it's up 27% last year. I gotta take some off the table. That's what you're battling. And that's what we're battling on BTC, right? If BTC was up 120 last year, so you're battling people this year, taking some off the table. If we want to measure, so this was let's fix that. This was the old target for the inverted head and shoulders down here. We're at or above that target, but there's still this other target for the Mega cup and handle. That's still there. That's got room for sure. You know, it's a sad day when I'm bullish gold and bearish everything else. Yeah, I looked at the miners, Dorito. I don't see anything there for me. Just endless chop. Endless. Chewy? Sure. What do we got here? Yeah, I mean, it's trending bullish. Give you that. You just got to be careful that this isn't a rising wedge, but you know, this is what you don't want to see. You're hoping that this breaks up, obviously. But it's on the right side of where it needs to be. It'd be a different story if it looked like it did back here in 23 and 24. Like, this is do not touch avoid territory for me. This isn't pretty up here, but it's where it needs to be on trend for sure. Do I think rate cuts or QE is more important? I think ultimately, if shit hits the fan, Trump's going to scream that something gets done. So that's what I'm bullish on. I'm bullish on Trump not being able to deal with things going down. So whether that's QE, whether that's rate cuts, whether that's yield curve control, whatever, I don't care. Whatever it is. Yeah, coin we looked at, I don't see anything there at the moment. Just chop. AMD. I also don't think it's a coincidence that almost everything is just kind of like chopping around. Either I'm bad at technical analysis, which is perfectly possible, or there's just like nothing to do right now. AMD still looks like it's in this downtrend to me. I don't see anything amazing there. SPX gold. Yeah, not exactly bullish, is it, Joey? Another one is BTC divided by TQQQ. Triple NASDAQ. This to me looks hyper bullish. Again, BTC versus triple Q times 3. Triple lever triple QQ. Triple lever triple Q. This looks like a breakout to me. This is huge. So all these people saying, I'm just going to hold the NASDAQ, or I'm just going to hold triple Qs, or I'm just going to leverage up on big tech. This to me favors BTC all day. Kind of been waiting for this to break out because it's been doing nothing for 5 years. The cloud is for free, available on most trading platforms. A few more, then we'll get out of here. I'm just low energy Josh today, just unexcited. Nothing great, nothing super amazing. Soundhound. Just feels like the move happened. You had this parabolic advance. What is there to do here? Nothing. I don't know. Wait, that's what I would do. It's like the cocoa. I forget the ticker. Is there just a cocoa? Here we go. Cocoa futures. Is this a thing? So cocoa futures for years were literally nothing, right? And then they move, and everybody wants to start trading this like all the way up here. And it's like, you know, you kind of missed it, right? So I feel the same with this. I feel the same with a lot of this quantum stuff that everybody's talking about. I don't see a great setup here. I just don't. You know, it moved almost 2,000%. I'm not saying it's a short, but it's not for me. It's like, I missed it. It's done. It's over. It's just not for me. Sorry, Rocket Lab. Somebody keeps asking about Rocket Lab Reno. When did we look at this last? Must have been a while. right? Again, it's like it's still at 400% since last year. I just feel like the meat of that move is probably done until you get a new breakout or consolidation. That was the difference between like this and Nvidia. Even BTC before the election, it took 8 months to break out again. You know, you love to see this back here because whether it's bullish or bearish, whatever it is, you get some sort of idea of this could happen. It didn't happen. We negated the head and shoulders back here. It broke out. And this was after months and months and months and months and months. So anybody who wanted to sell had plenty of time. Anybody who wanted to buy had plenty of time. But it takes like 3 to 6 months to figure out what the hell's going on here. And then now we're at whatever we're at, 135 on Nvidia from 50, right? So I always feel more comfortable. And people don't like this because it's, you know, requires patience and not doing anything for an extended period of time. But do I know Spiricato? I do. I talk to him frequently, basically every day. It requires patience. So stuff like most of the stuff we've looked at, I just think it needs time to absorb selling, figure out what it wants to be when it grows up. So that's just me. That's just my style. Disney, sure. Disney. Yeah, maybe you get a like a inverted head and shoulders-y thing above 117. But trend is there. Trend is favorable for Disney. It's just it's gone nowhere for a long time, you know. I'm a man of the people. So I do use double. This is what I use on Legacy. That's what I use on Legacy. You're right, Andrew. I did say, where were you at 5 on Rocket Lab? Isn't the UFO, isn't that, yeah. Like, just like ARC, this is a pretty good risk on gauge. This looks fine for like, you know, crazy, hyper risky stuff. All right, we'll do a few more and get out of here. CCJ. CCJ, the energy trader's favorite thing to talk about. It looks okay. I don't have any great ideas here. You definitely hope it's not a double top. I don't know, man. I don't know. I was looking at XLE. Like, XLE has tried to fake out so many times. This is the energy ETF. Full disclosure, I have some XLE. Full disclosure. Chart looks good. Chart still looks good. It tried to fake you out a few times. I still like it. Call me a sucker for punishment. I still like it. Sorry. Where was the other thing? URA, uranium. I'm super bullish uranium. It's just that doesn't really show up in the price. Like, uranium has done nothing, like flat nothing for a long time. Commodities are tough. Commodities are tough. Maybe a cup and handle here. I think that's what I had drawn. Yeah. I don't know. I just think on some of this stuff, if you are bullish on the future of nuclear and you think uranium's a play, then that's what you do, and you just DCA. You know, maybe you trim some BTC profits into URA every month, right? If you're bullish uranium. What does that look like, that chart, I wonder? URA BTC, new all-time low. you know, look, I'm not saying it's a great idea, but it's an idea. This could be some sort of eventual, like crazy inverted head and shoulders thing. I don't know. You know, look, it's not a great idea, but it's an idea. ANF. ANF broke down. So that's it. Really, that's your answer. Again, tried to fake you out a couple times. Made a new multi-month low. And again, it's like, okay, this thing has had quite a run. This thing had a run comparable to NVIDIA, right? 600% in like a year and a half. Consolidated for 200 days and you got your answer. It's no Costco, right? It's not this. This was Costco back here. Like this is a different story. When you get this consolidation, then it breaks north, it holds that, keeps making strong moves, and you get markup. I wouldn't touch Costco here, by the way, but just as a compare contrast to ANF. LUNR. Never heard of this one. Looks good. Doesn't look bad. I got nothing. Just looks good. Looks good. Intuitive Machines. Intuitive Machines. 10-year to 6%? Let's hope not. Uranium is my torture chamber. Yeah, I mean, I'm just as bullish as you on the future of nuclear for sure, but man, uranium is not really in agreement with that. All right, last couple here. FSLY, Fastly. I don't know, man. I don't know. The hell is this? It's got an MSTR alert. That's good news. I got nothing on this one. Just chop nonsense. And then somebody wanted me to look up HNT. HNT was really lagging everything. I guess it is on Kraken now. I need like a long-term chart. There we go. So HNT on the daily. I saw Grayscale listed some trust thing. You know, I love catching anything after a multi-month downtrend. PayPal, Zoom, any of that stuff. Helium was definitely an option. Now up here, I got nothing. I got nothing other than I like it better above like 7, 8. I'm just not one to be like, I'm going to sit in this. This is the right shoulder. This has to work out. Okay, fine. Even if that's the case, where's your stop loss? Is your stop loss like here? Is your stop loss down here? Do you just not care? Does this become a bag? Are you a community member? Not saying you, but just, it's just like, it's huge chop. There's no direction. I don't know. I like it when there's clear direction. I don't see that. Yeah, Fartcoin, I'm not gonna chart that. Should we chart that? I don't even know the ticker. Is the ticker literally just like the whole thing, or is it this? Just to add insult to injury. Is it really the whole thing? Not even enough history. It's choppy, but it's up chop. It doesn't look horrible. I'll give you that. Does not look horrible. All right, last one. Backed. What is going on with Backed? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Another great example of just the nonsensical wedge. Because you could have drawn this like back here. Bought 15, and it's like, oh, it goes to 6. Sorry, thanks for playing. I do like, there's kind of this low time frame. I'll delete all this. There's this low time frame falling wedge thing. I just don't know what they do other than that they're like a crypto company. I don't know what they do though. Yeah, Giovanni, I'm in agreement. He said, I thought Bakkt went out of business. I'm not sure if they got acquired or if they sold or if they went bankrupt. I have no idea what the status of this company is. No idea. All right, last one, Curve. Curve we had talked about. Daily. Curve we talked about at 40, like below 50 cents. I posted this on Twitter and people were giving me crap for it at a quarter. I didn't buy any, just to be clear, but it still looks good. It looked good all of Q4. I don't hate it. I think it's got room. I think DeFi as a sector is set to do well for regulatory clarity reasons. I think it looks okay. I think it looks okay. I don't know what EOSE is, man. You keep asking me. I have no idea. EOSE. Is it EOS? Did EOS buy an energy company? Did Block One do this? Is that what this is? Is that what's going on here? It looks fine. Is there a setup here? No. I would just let it run. It looks good. I have no issues with this at all. All right, last one. Actual last one. Figs. This is in my wheelhouse here. You got to root for the underdog, you know? Like, I don't know what's going on with this company, the fundamentals, but this thing for 3-4 years has been just death, right? Thanks, Kay. Thanks for hanging out. Look, maybe it deserves an alert or two at 6:30 as I have on my chart. Just an idea, just a setup. No, I'm not doing AI agents. I have just avoided those. What have you bought? What's in my portfolio? I love BTC. I love ETH as a Hail Mary play. That's about it on the crypto side. Figs got acquired by some fund. Oh, are they getting corporate takeover? Is that what's going on? All right, that's all I got for this one. Give me a like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll talk to everybody on Sunday for Setup Sunday. I love how your strongest signal is. I do not hate this. Hey, this is a setup, okay? I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's a setup.